Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 2 of the JACKOCAR Kia series. It brings us to the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain, and we have a lot of races still in front of us. Round 2 means there's still plenty more to come. We have 8 rounds in the regular season and 5 more in the playoffs with, of course, the season finale on May 11th at Bahrain. My name is Austin Smith. Welcome, everyone. And alongside me, as last week and regularly, is Jake. Jake, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, it certainly was a crazy race last week. If I can just really quick get up the standings. It's not going to be the best in terms of production quality. We apologize for that, but let me just quickly call this JACKOCAR Kia standings. A lot of things still going on here, but let me just quickly do this standings. There we go, and the image is right there. And we're going to make it a little bit bigger because the drivers are still getting ready. So we can quickly show it right there. We have, of course, Estimats. You may be wondering, what is that name? Christian Hataro. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I'm wrong. My Estonian isn't the best. So I apologize in advance. But he obviously won the last race and has already advanced to the playoffs, and currently you see there the standings. Connor second, MK Bourne third, Jamie fourth, Yuri in fifth, and so on and so forth. But a lot can change. Obviously, I think that is pretty clear. In such a system, a win qualifies you for the playoffs automatically, and as such, AC Matt's obviously already in. So, you know, he can't really, relax too much at the same time. I think that needs to be said. He can't really relax too much because it's still very important where you finish in the regular season. It's not that, oh, he's in the playoffs, so the next 7 races don't matter for him. So a lot still to play for, and especially for everyone else, obviously, still trying to make the playoffs. Exactly. That's one thing that I think a lot of people do forget, and it really is important. If you win another race and take it away from a potential rival, maybe that rival is not going to miss out on the playoffs, even though they have the skill to potentially beat you. Maybe not at that track, but at another. So to deny them that victory and potentially an entry into the playoffs could be huge, ultimately. On who wins the championship. As the drivers are loading into the session now, we are getting ready any moment now, and we have 19 drivers with us tonight. Let's quickly look at everything. There we go. I think we are. Yes, we are ready. Here we go. So yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I apologize now. You should be able to be heard on stream. I am
Hello,
very
everybody.
sorry. Yeah, Jake. Apologies to everyone watching, and apologies, obviously, to you, Jake. But yeah, that is fixed now. I pressed the wrong button, and I unmuted the game sound, which I shouldn't have done. So that was also double on stream. But yeah, now everything should be working fine. They certainly can hear you, indeed. They can hear me, and they can't hear anything else apart from the game sound once, not twice, as it should be. As we already have Dark Shadow retiring here, so he's not going to go out on a lap. And looking at the timetable, the first one out on track should be Okiki, and he is. Bit surprising, honestly, to see him here, considering that he is. Is he the Cup Series driver? I'm pretty sure he's the Cup, because there is a Cup Series driver in here tonight. I think it is.
I don't see him on the standings. So
yeah,
I'm gonna guess though.
Yeah, exactly. So Cup Series driver coming down to replace one of the drivers who can't make it tonight. And yeah, definitely a bit more competition here for the guys. Not sure if they're gonna like that. There has been some talks in the group chat about a Cup Series driver joining here, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to deal with it. Not much more you can do about it, as we are looking at Okiki right now as he starts the lap in just a couple of seconds here through the final chicane. Very awkward corner here, this chicane. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan personally, but here we go, onto the main straight, a very, very long straight, by the way. Great overtaking opportunity at the end of turn 1, arguably the best overtaking opportunity and almost the only overtaking opportunity, and that will be more true next F1 season 2021 and on the F1 2021 game, as the other overtaking opportunity on this track has been slightly remodeled. We will get to that corner in just about 30 seconds, maybe less, probably less, as first sector already done. This downhill left-hander here, tricky to get right. And now you try to shorten the distance here. He doesn't really go all the way to the left, so he leaves himself some space there. Might have been a hundredth or two that he left on the table. This right-hander here, crucial. This is now the second best overtaking opportunity. This hairpin coming up here, and it is a lot wider than you can see it here. So that profile has been changed significantly. And now the slow final sector here for Okiki, and then Vitinho on the mediums will be next, as Okiki comes through the final final 3 corners. Now the final corner, flat out across the line, and it is the first lap time of 1:15.9. Now we look at Vitinho. He's going to be the next one on the medium, so we should expect him to be slightly slower, especially compared to a Cup Series driver. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he can match this to a degree at least. The difference between softs and mediums around this track, 0.6 of a second.
No, it's definitely not as big as what it is at certain other tracks. And what I find interesting already as well is that Bill, who's currently out on track on an outlap, is also on mediums, and I believe he's using his Joker tonight, so that may play some part into why he's on mediums.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, to explain for those who haven't watched much before, the Joker every driver has once per season. Basically what it means is there is a mandatory 2-stop in place, so every driver has to pit at least twice. However, if you do take the Joker before the race, you only have to pit once, as Vitinho behind Okiki by only 0.4 of a second.
That's not a bad effort at all on medium tires. I think he'll be pretty happy with that, and sets him up quite nicely. I mean, if he can get in the top 10 with that, it's not impossible. He could be one to look out for at the start of the race.
Yeah, but once again, you have to remember everyone's on 2 stops except for then Bill, obviously. And looking at the tire data, the only way you can make a 1-stop work around here is medium to hard. The softs don't even last that long, because the soft tires in the race only last about 8 laps. So what we could expect, I think, from most drivers is a soft medium 2-stop if they do qualify on the softs, as most of them do. As Bill heads now through the final sector and tries to get a good lap time, and takes a lot of curb there on that right-hander. And not enough curb on that right-hander. You can take that a lot more aggressively than Bill just did there. However, what's the time going to be? 1:17.92 seconds off the pace. The next one is Waze. In his black, blue, and green livery as he gets a slide there. My goodness. That was a wild moment of oversteer for Waze. Heading to the end of the second sector. Under 50 seconds, that's generally good. What can the final sector bring him? Well, it brings him a spin. That much is clear. And Waze's lap is basically done. I mean, he wants to finish it, but he has to let another car by there. I think that is Mr. John. Oh, Mr. John now gets out of the way. My goodness. I really don't like this camera angle, but I can't fix it. Apologies, everyone. There we go. Now we're back onto a good one. And now Mr. John is obviously Waze with a 1:27.4. Nowhere near the pace after that horrible, horrible spin there. Mr. John now trying to start his lap, or starting his lap, in what I find to be quite a good-looking livery, I gotta say. Different colors that you wouldn't think would go well together, except especially the yellow and the blue. But the white kind of ties it all together, and it kind of works.
It is quite a nice livery, I have to say. One thing to note is that Matt was on his lap just ahead of John, but he's invalidated, so he won't have a lap time in, unfortunately.
Oh, well, there you go. So Matt... hold on. Matt? I don't see a Matt in that list. I'm confused now. I'm still confused with the names. I still need to learn the names and all.
I think it's indecisive, but it says Matt Tree on the timings.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it is indecisive Mackie, yeah. I was like, who is Matt? Apologies. Yeah, indecisive Mackie invalidated, therefore no time for him. Mr. John comes across the line. 1:18.6. Next up is going to be Jess in, once again, the VSR colored red and black car. First sector 22-1. It shows purple on the mini-map. Do not trust that. That is not accurate. It will show that for every driver on every single sector. There seems to be a bug, so do not trust that. She is not purple in the first sector. We've seen 21s in the first sector before, so 22 definitely not purple. But question is, how far up the order can Jess go? Can she beat Bill with a 1:17.9? I think the top two are a little bit too far away, a little bit too far out of reach. But P3 right now, I think that's on the cards.
It's gonna be really close, I suspect, with Bill. It's between Bill and Mr. John. There's a decent sort of time. I think it's gonna be around those two times, but here she comes around the final corner.
Yeah, and she doesn't beat either time. 1:19.2, just behind the two of them in P5. And now Dan's car is like, he's already invalidated. I was going to say he's already in the final sector, but he's also already invalidated. Next one should be Speed Newgarden, as he is about to start a lap. So currently we don't have it. I hate this camera angle. I have to apologize here. But I really, really do hate this camera angle. Now this one is a lot better. I don't know what they were thinking when they put that in the game. But here we go. Newgarden to start his lap. And let's just quickly look at the top speed here from Newgarden. 327 kilometers an hour. We can sort of run a little comparison with some other cars if we do see it. I think Jacko is just about to start a lap. Indeed, he is. Let's actually quickly look at his top speed. Yeah, 328, 329. There we go. Slightly higher. So that's an indicator that Jacko is running slightly lower wings than Newgarden is. Not much. Probably about 1 or 2 steps overall. When I say 2 steps, I mean therefore 1 on each wing. So, you know, not that much difference between the two, but certainly Slightly better overtaking opportunities maybe for Jacko, slightly easier overtaking if he has to, as Newgarden now through the final sector had to avoid some traffic there and is now coming through the final couple of corners. So far looking good, I have to say. A little bit of an issue there through the final corner. Runs out of ERS, that might hurt him. But it is almost pole position, 4 thousandths of a second. Wow. Wow. That's close. Jacko has invalidated, so he's going to have to overtake quite a few people if he wants to get a good result. As that would have been a 118.7 right now, P6 for him. That would have been. Obviously, it isn't, as he has left the track at some point, and therefore that lap did not count. Jacka, I think, is next. Yeah, there's no one else on a flying lap right now, so Jack is next, then it will be Baza right after. And Baza is going to start his lap soon, but we're looking at Jacko here, Jack G here, not Jacko, Jack G. In what looks a little bit like a Renault-inspired car, modern Renault, not 2005, 2006 Renault, but modern Renault with a lot of black, a little bit of yellow. Very reminiscent of the team that is now called Alpine.
I'll tell you what, these first two sectors are remarkably close to what Newgarden was doing, so I don't know, could we have a third driver do a 115.9? It's certainly possible.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, final corner also runs out of ERS. I think this might be better. No, oh, slightly worse. 116.0, but it is very, very close here. Now Baza. Now that's the old Renault. That's the 2005-2006 Renault right there. The two-time world champion car of Fernando Alonso. And, oh, massive slide. Is he off in the grass? Yes, he is. Camera didn't catch it, but we quickly switched on to cockpit to see him go off the track. And that is going to ruin his time to a degree. I think he will be around maybe still sort of Bill's time, 17.9. But he certainly lost about a second from that. And certainly an issue there. Running off the track, losing some time, and now he goes all the way, and that is an invalidation there, and he immediately aborts his lap. Just goes straight into the pit lane, because you only have one shot, and if you do invalidate, you don't get a second try. You will end up without a time in qualifying, and so he did the sensible, and just goes into the pit lane, aborts the lap, and Niels is now next. Yuri has also just started a lap. He is in turn 3 right now. You can see the gray dot at the bottom left of the minimap. But here comes Niels. 2 sectors. What does it say? 49.8. You've been looking at the times a little bit more, Jake. Where does that fit in?
That's around 2/10 off what Newgarden and Jack were doing around this time of the lap, so maybe around Vitinho, unless he can pull out a mega final sector.
Oh, we'll see. It doesn't look like a mega final sector. Very solid, but nothing that blew me away there. And he comes across the line, and yeah, 16.2 right between. Absolutely accurate as Yuri now coming through. 49.5. That's right on pace with those 3 at the top, isn't it?
That's going to be could very well be the fastest time, providing he gets this very niggly final chicane out of the way, which, like you, I'm not the biggest fan of either. Yuri up to the line of 115.9 to beat. And yeah, 15.6. That's a really nice lap. 3/10 clear.
Yeah, solidly. I mean, 3/10 is quite a gap, quite a margin here. And Yuri showing why he is as good as he is, as we are looking at Splinter now, one of the last few to go out. I think after him it will just be Connor. No, MK Bourne. Sorry, MK Bourne, then Connor. And
Eastimats.
And Eastimats, indeed. Eastimats as the winner of the first race and already in the playoffs. Gets the best qualifying spot as well. I mean, he's living life right now, isn't he?
Oh, he'll be absolutely buzzing at the moment. He could just do his lap and see what happens. I just want to quickly touch on Newgarden before Splinter
Oh,
finishes his
hold
lap.
on, yellow flag. There's someone in the gravel. I think. Oh, who was that? I do not know. I think
Niels.
Niels, yeah. But
Splinter
shouldn't be too much of an issue for Splinter. Obviously, a bit annoying there, but well, it is still P2 for Splinter, so a great lap right there from him. As now MK Born, he's almost done with his lap as well. We didn't get to see much of it. Once again, his car that's very descriptive of where everything is. Engine, aero, you know. Find that quite funny, but it didn't hurt him. In fact, it quite helped him maybe. 1:15.5, new provisional pole position, and now we have Connor, who's on a lap. Yep, there we go. What does the second sector say? 49.5. That's, again, right where Yuri was, isn't it? So about a 10th and a half off of MK Born. But nothing that you can't gain in the final sector.
Yeah, this is going to be right up there. I reckon maybe second or third potentially here. It looks a very smooth final sector as well. No dramas at all. So this should be right up near the sharp end. Indeed, it goes up to third.
Yeah. Lost a little bit at the end there to Yuri, about a 10th. But overall, I mean, I think he'll be happy with a P3 if he gets to keep it. That is the question. The only one who can change the order a little bit here is going to be Estimats. What does the middle sector say? 48, 49. The clock keeps ticking. 49.7. We saw 49.5 from Yuri and Connor. So this is right around Splinter's time, as it seems. So maybe a top 4, top 5 seems likely, but not much better than that. I can't see him somehow get into the front row unless he has a magnificent final sector. Well, does he? Comes across the line, straight lines it, 15.8. It is P5 exactly. 200ths of a second behind Splinter, and it is MK Born in the descriptive purple car who takes pole position here at Spain.
Superb job from Yuri. Great. Oh, sorry, not Yuri, MK Born, rather, should I say. Although Yuri himself did a fantastic job. Super close in the end, actually, between really up to top 7, all in the 1:15 15s. And, you know, this isn't really like Monza. It's a lot more of a technical circuit. So it's good to see the top 7, 8 cars super close together on the grid. And it should make for a great race.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at it. The top 10, including a medium runner, all within a second. Within less than a second. 9/10ths of a second. So there's a lot going on here. A lot of drivers very, very close. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see some scintillating action as the German MK Born takes pole position here ahead of Yuri, Connor in 3rd, Splinter 4th, Estimats 5th, Okiki 6th, Newgarden 7, Jack 8, Niels 9, Vitinho 10, Bill 11. That means Vitinho does have to start on the mediums. Bill gets free tire choice. John 12, Jess 13, Waze 14, Dark Shadow, No Time, retired. Jacko, Maki, Baza, and Danska all invalid. And that is the order as we now head towards the race.
A few things that I certainly picked up on there. First of all, Newgarden, a bit of a peculiar tactic, this one, because according to the information I've got, Speed Newgarden is using his Joker tonight, and he's qualified in the top 10 on softs. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, because I don't think he can do a one-stop started on softs.
Yeah, not really. You'd have to hope. He'd have to hope for a safety car, but again, under JACKOCAR rules, you're only allowed to pit for a safety car, or pit under safety car if you have either a puncture or a severely damaged wing. If neither of those are true, you are not allowed to pit. So, bit surprised here for him to see him go for the one stop when the soft tire is clearly the worst tire on this track, and it's borderline impossible to make a one stop happen with the softs because again they only last 8 laps and the hard tire lasts around 20. According to my own calculations, that's 28. The race is 33 laps long, as you can see on the screen right now. So, doesn't really add up, does it?
No, absolutely not. And I don't know how he's going to make that one work. We shall see, of course. And the other one really was for me was Waste in 14. His car looked horrible to drive. It was oversteering absolutely everywhere before he eventually spun. I mean, if that's what happens on one lap, I wonder what that's going to be like to drive over the course of 33. I worry he may have a tough race on his hands with that car.
Yeah, if that's the setup he's going for, maybe he was just pushing the car very, very hard on that one lap, and maybe in a 33 lap race, you know, he's taking it a little bit easier. But yeah, he's gonna have to be focused at all times. And a quick look at the tires. Obviously, top 10 were determined by qualifying, so the top 9 all on softs, Vitinha on mediums. But then below that, everyone's on the mediums except Mr. John. He's on the softs. That surprises me a little bit. I would have thought that he... Oh, that was a nice lag there. Someone, on my screen at least, I think the viewers saw it as well. Someone just went straight to the left and into the wall. And then immediately warped back onto track, and everything was fine. So that was a little bit weird there.
I don't know how it's looking for everyone else, but I've seen Connor lagging horribly quite a lot so far.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hope that's not going to be an issue during the race.
It was Connor who looked like he was going to turn into the wall at full speed there, and then warped back as if nothing happened. But yeah, let's hope his connection holds up. Let's hope our connection holds up. After the issues that we had last Tuesday, obviously, as MK Bourne takes his spot in the front row on pole position alongside Yuri in P2. We are waiting for the drivers. Let's look at the last one. Frenagamu not participating in qualifying, but has joined now. 20th driver. He has joined a little bit late. But he is there, and I gotta say, he's got one of the best looking liveries, personally, I think, at least. But let's not get held up with that. Here we go. Oh. We don't get the lights. We don't get the lights. Oh no. Oh no, someone's holding up the start. Someone's holding up the start. This is not good. I think we may have a bugged lobby. We may have a broken lobby here. We might have to restart this. Waze has left the session. There we go. Now it works. Waze was the one. But here we go. And it was a very short hold. We are underway for the Spanish Grand Prix here at JACKOCAR. There's already the first part of front wing flying in the background. Waze has meanwhile rejoined. And Yuri already putting MK Bourne under pressure here. They're going side by side to turn 1, and there is a virtual safety car already as 2 cars are trailing the field, and there's a lot more going on here. Dark Shadow and Mackie. There's a 5-second penalty for Niels for a collision with Waze, and I think both of them actually have a 5-second penalty. There's a car off. Newgarden's out. My goodness, what happened there? Oh my. And green flags after that incident. Waze has no front wing. Oh my goodness.
And he's lagging horrifically from what I can see.
Yeah, he's warping back and forth at all times here. My goodness. I don't know if he even shows up on everyone else's screen. But that is definitely him in the car. That's not a ghosted car or anything, or an AI car. Oh my goodness, let's not show that. He's also not actually the leader of this race. Oh, there's someone going off. Oh no, that was just Connor lagging again. Never mind then. Jesus, there's so much going on. Something is not right with the connection quality here, I have to say. As, yeah, Waze is going into the pit lane. Does the game still count him as the leader? That's what I wonder. If he goes across the line now. Please don't let him be the leader. No, he's losing positions now. And he's... Oh my goodness, he's bugging onto the... What's happened there?
Oh my goodness.
What is going on? We have a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That is, I think, for Mackie. Oh yeah, he's going really slow right now. Does he have a puncture or anything? No, no puncture, just damage on the front wing. But okay, everything's bugged and broken, and we're having major issues here. But MK Bourne still leading the way. Just ignore Waze at the top. He's not leading this race. We are not in lap 3. We are in lap 2. And here's the predicted pit stop strategy. So yeah, as you can see, soft, medium, medium. Waze has now left the session. I hope that rectifies all the issues that are going on here, as Waze is on the hards and apparently still leading. That's not right. I hope the other cars can catch him. As it is now actually lap 3. Don't know what's going on with Waze there, but my goodness, this lobby. I haven't seen that in a long time. That issue. That a car is just... And Waze is rejoining now.
Don't do it!
Yeah, please don't tell me he's going to be leading the... Oh, I'm going to look at that car now. I just want to see what's going on here. He does have a new front wing, so at least that's nice. I think once he starts lagging, I think we can see when he took control of his car.
It still looks very normal from my end. MK Bourne's already got a penalty for corner cutting, so that's not ideal.
Yeah, that's very early there. Oh, and I think Waze has just taken control of his car. And he's actually being counted on lap 4. Yeah, I think we have an issue. I think we have an issue. Waze is actually being counted by the game as the leader while having done a whole lap less than everyone else. Or not a whole lap, but almost a whole lap. I mean, he is effectively in 19th, but he's shown in 1st. Yeah, that's not good.
Got our first soft tyre pit stop, Splinters in the pits.
Yeah, going on to mediums. Really does not like the softs here, and I don't blame him. Again, those tires do not really last very long, so he's going in. Pit stop lost, by the way, about 20 seconds. So you can expect him to come out of the pit lanes, out of the pit lane, about 20 seconds behind where he originally came in. And he's back on track in P16 now.
Whatever reason, I'm not sure why, because he was right behind him last time I saw. But Yuri's dropped off the back of MK Bourne's, actually now under pressure from Connor.
Oh, yellow flag. I think Niels was off. No, that wasn't Niels. That was... There's a lap car. That was Mackie. Ah, I see. That was Mackie who was off there. On the exit of the fast right hand and needs to let everyone by here. Remember, there's no ghosting. Lapped cars don't ghost, so you know, you gotta be a little bit careful here. There's a car off now. That's Vitinho. Vitinho off in the long-winded right-hander. Loses a position to Bill now. I think he was battling with Niels, and now everyone's pitting. Yuri, Okiki, AC Mats all in the pit lane. MK Bourne trying to drive away. And we do get some gaps now. 25 seconds that MK Bourne is behind Waze. Okay. I've never seen that before. I can't believe that that's happening. Second race of the JACKOCAR Kia series. And we have a car that's leading the race, having done a lap less than everyone else.
I have to say, credit to him. Start 14th on the grid and be leading by 25 seconds on lap 5. That is...
Yeah.
I want his setup.
Yeah. I want his driving skill, I tell you. I want him to teach me. If I was that fast, honestly, if I was that fast, I probably wouldn't be commentating. I'd be winning F1 eSports. Brendan Lee, watch out. My goodness, 25. MK Bourne's still staying out. We got to cover the race though. I don't know how the admins are gonna handle this afterwards. But yeah, I'm looking at the group chat right now, and I'm seeing that someone has been, I'm not going to say who, but someone has been calling for a lobby restart when we saw Waze's car going through the pit lane, then jumping back on track. But yeah, I don't think we will get a restart here. I think we're too far into the race now to actually restart the whole lobby. As MK oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I think with powers of deduction, I might be able to guess who that was.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, I do understand him. Like, I fully would have understood if they said lap 1, lap 2, hold up, red flag, we're gonna restart this race. Fully would have understood it, but they decided not to. So here we are now. MK Bond still staying out on lap 6. It says lap 7, but again, Waze, you know. So it is lap 7 now. Now the pit window for MK Born seems to open. Connor, meanwhile, is coming in now. And that's a very simple, normal stop.
I'm just wondering, one of the, I believe one of the stages is lap 8. I wonder if he's staying out to get that.
Yeah, would be a good shout, I think. However, look at the gap.
Waste winning.
Look at the gap. Yeah, I mean, look at who's leading, first off. It's not MK Born, apparently. Again, I don't know how they deal with that. But yeah, we have 2 stages here. I think lap 8 is definitely the first one. The second one's either lap 16 or 17. I would have to...
16, I believe.
Let me quickly check the... where do we have it? There. Yes, lap 16, indeed. So 8 and 16, very easy to remember then, are the 2 stages. So, yeah, for MK Born... Oh, Bill's out! What's happened there? Oh, he spun on the exit of, I think that's turn 10. That's a fast right-hander. Spun to the right side. And we have a safety car. And MK Born has not been in... Why is the safety car in the middle of the pit lane?
MK Born has pitted. I don't know if he pitted before or after the safety car came out.
Well, he wasn't. So he was, I think, from what I saw, and I think we need clarification on the rules here. He was on pit entry when the safety car came out, so he was already committed to going into the pit lane, but he wasn't in the pit limiter region, in the pit lane itself yet. He was only on pit entry. So the question is, does
who
that
are they going to
count?
pick up as the leader?
It's going to pick up Waze as the leader, obviously.
Doesn't seem like he's lagging at the moment, so hopefully at least there shouldn't be too many problems with that now. Fingers crossed.
But yeah, it says, here, okay, so the rule is actually very clear. It says, if you're already in the pit lane when a safety car comes out, you are exempt and the pit stop is perfectly legal. In order to achieve this luxury, you must be committed to the pit lane upon the release of the safety car. I think, looking at where MK Born was at the time, he was committed to the pit lane upon the release of the safety car. It also says if you are not yet committed and a safety car comes out, but it is safer for you to pit rather than return to the main part of the track, the stewards will look leniently upon this, but you may be asked to provide proof to ensure you weren't exploiting the rules. So I think MK Born was committed. Ultimately, the stewards are going to have to decide. But looking at where MK Born was when the safety car came out, I think he was committed. There was no way he could have avoided it. And he was already sort of... He was on the inside of the long pit wall. And at that point, you can't go back on track. So I think he did get the luxury of basically getting a free pit stop here. MK Born, that is. Jack, obviously... I really hope they're not counting Waze at the end of the race. So that means Jack is the one who gets the first stage point.
Oh no. Don't go on board and waste whatever you do.
Okay, good to know.
Wait a minute.
Where is he?
I think I can see 2 safety cars. I'm pretty sure
I definitely see one.
I see one ahead of Waze, and I see one ahead of Jack.
I don't see one ahead of Waze. Oh, Waze is out. Disqualified. On my screen.
Yeah, I've just got that. What on earth?
Huh? What is happening? What is happening? Oh my goodness.
I'm sure on my screen, in the distance, I saw another safety car ahead of Waze.
I didn't, funny enough, I did not. I just saw the one in front of Jack, who is now the de facto, he's not just the de facto leader, he's also on paper, as you can see, the leader. Waze is rejoining. Well, it doesn't matter.
Well,
is he disqualified on your screen as well?
Yes, he is.
Okay, good. Bill has left the session.
That's going to be a nasty surprise when he gets back in the lobby, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. But yeah, no one else, I think, pit. Jack is not allowed to pit. Otherwise, he would have to add another pit stop. So the one that if you pit, just to quickly explain the rule, if you pit under safety car, knowingly there's a safety car, not you're committed on pit entry and, oh, there comes a safety car. As Dark Shadow retires, that is exit at turn 10 to the outside. What has he done there? Under the safety, how does he crash out under the safety car?
I'm pretty sure he's not the only one. I think Brenner Gamu did the same thing, but that was he did it around the, I believe, the fast right-hander of turn 3, I want to say. Turn 3, turn 4.
I don't understand. But look, I've learned in the test race, and then race 1, and in all the JACKOCAR races I've commentated, I've learned just to not ask questions. So, you know, we're just gonna go along with it. Dark Shadow has retired now. We are down to 15 runners, and I think the safety car might be coming in at the end of this lap. Drivers, by the way, are allowed to follow in the safety car when it does come into the pit lane. Jack is allowed, and there we go, safety car in this lap. So if Jack wants to pit, he is allowed to do it now.
I reckon both him and Mr. John will want to get shot of those soft tires ASAP.
Yeah, they've gone on them quite a long time. Again, 8 laps is how they usually last until they get to sort of the 70% region. And look at Jack now. He makes it very slow to not run into the back of the safety car, really slow up everyone else, and significantly slow down everyone else. Significantly slow down everyone else. My goodness. They almost run into the back of him. 50 kilometers an hour. This is how fast you're allowed to drive in Germany, inner city. And there we go. He does go into the pit lane, and he wants to do it quick. And MK Born is going to restart this race then, with Danskar right behind him. Danskar not pitted yet, so MK Born's a pit stop ahead, basically, of almost everyone else. Connor and Yuri, and then Okiki are the next ones. Apart from that, Mr. John also in the pit lane, as you can see there. They fall down to 13th and 14th. As Dark Shadow leaves the session as well. But MK Born now the leader on track again. And Danskar starting from P18.
Oof. Mazza and Okeke having a great battle.
Oh yeah, there we go. And there is Maki trying to get out of the way, I think. Yep. Okiki and Baza. And Okiki has the position. 2 very similar colored cars, I have to say. A darker blue and a lighter blue. But, and both different shades of yellow as well. But very similar looking cars. But ultimately, Okiki gets the position. Up to P5 he goes. Istimats and Jacko, I was going to say battling, but looking at how Jacko basically let him by, I don't think there was much battling going on there. As Istimats takes that position. Jacko almost runs wide there through that long right-hander.
The infamous Jacko livery.
Yeah. I was asking him about that. He was telling me, I gotta try to find this right now. If only I could. There it is. It's inspired by highlighters. Traditionally, I would go with dark colors, but fancy something different for this season.
Yuri's off the track. Yuri's gone.
Oh. Yeah. No damage as it seems, but certainly a lot of positions lost here. Down to P12. My goodness. I gotta say, so far, Nascar really impresses me. Starting second or last of those that are still in the race. The only one behind him was Franagamu, who is now out of the race already. And running in P2 right now. Again, he does have a pit stop left to do. But, you know, it's looking good, I think. And he's got those medium tires on that are going to last quite a few more laps. Maybe not a massive amount, but he can take him about... He's probably going to pit in a lap or two, isn't he? Yeah, maybe even this lap. No, it's... Oh, actually, yes. I'm a bit surprised. My calculations would have expected him to go lap 13 or 14, rather. Personally, I probably would have gone lap 13. Then he got 13, 26, and then he got 7 on the softs, which is certainly possible. But he goes in now a bit earlier, takes that second set of mediums a bit longer then. So we should expect him back in around lap 25, 26.
Yeah, getting that first pit stop out of the way. Interestingly, both drivers that used their Jokers tonight are both out of the race, so Jokers have not worked out too well for them, and that could be quite a blow.
I mean, you look at how far how the season went so far. I mean, everyone who's used the Joker has not won the race, has barely even finished. I mean, we had 4 drivers in the first race, and that didn't go too well for any of them, did it?
No, that's very true, and I suspect next week at Monaco, I don't think we'll see many people using the Jokers there.
Yeah, not really. I think what we're going to see there is a lot of strategy in terms of when to pit. Two very early pit stops, probably. And then just on... Here's what I would do. You know, just go, like grab into the bag of tricks. The hard tire lasts 35 laps, and you can't overtake around Monaco. So you go in lap 1, you pit, no matter if you have, unless there's a safety car, obviously. But if there's no safety car, lap 1, you come in, you pit, and then around lap 4, lap 5, you pit again. And all of a sudden, you've got 2 pit stops done, you go into the hards, go to the end of the race, no one can overtake you. And it's just... yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. I would be that cheeky. I tell you right now, I'd be that cheeky.
We'll find out next week who's hired Austin as their strategist for Monaco.
Maybe they are listening, yeah. Maybe they are listening. As Jacko's on the softs now, interesting choice that. And MK Born still leading the way. Do we have some good battles somewhere here? I think Istimats and Baza are going at it. But Baza also still has the DRS of Niels right in front, just about. But he won't have it for much longer, I think, as, yeah, Baza is dropping out of that 1 second window. Almost. He's now dropped out of it because there is... Oh, no, yeah, he's actually getting closer again. I was going to say that's the car of Mackie, but it's not. Does he have it? Yep, the rear wing opens. Baza still has DRS, so he won't be under much pressure now from Istimats. But look at the ERS between those two. Baza, yeah. 25%, Istimats on 95%. I mean, this should be easy for Istimats.
Yeah, he's just got to wait for Baza to lose that DRS advantage. And then he'll have it just going overtake and he'll be easily passed. I don't think Baza will have any defense for that.
Meanwhile, Yuri and Jack are getting closer and closer to Splinter here. Battle over P8 as Yuri trying to regain some positions after that spin earlier. And for a lot of these drivers, I think we're going to see them pit rather soon again. I'm thinking I think that one of the next ones should be Baza. He hasn't pitted yet. He doesn't have a Joker, does he?
Not for this one, no. That was
No.
Bill and Newgarden.
Oh, there we go. So Baz, I think Baz is going to pit now. I'd be very surprised if he does not come in. Fastest lap, meanwhile, by MK1, 1 minute 19.0. And Baza indeed comes into the pit lane.
You are a psychic.
Well, it was kind of obvious. He was on these tires for 15 laps, and they last 15 laps. So, you know, it was not so much being a psychic. It was more doing math. Which, not really.
You're too
difficult.
humble.
Yeah, goes on to another set of mediums. I think Baza just doesn't like the softs. He wants to avoid the softs as much as possible. Yellow flag, sector 3. That's Mr. John. Ay. Rejoins now. Right in front of Mackie, but no issue there really. And Baza down in P11. But yeah, I think what Baza's gonna do, lap 15, we just saw that, and then he's gonna come in lap 30, and then onto the softs for 3 laps. He doesn't want to use them, he doesn't like them, doesn't want to be on them. I think he's going very long into both stints at the start, and then just a 3-lapper on softs, and that's gonna be it. But Splinter should be the next one, and I would guess, considering that he came in about lap 5, let me just quickly check actually to make sure when Splinter came in, but it should have been, oh, lap 4 actually. No, lap 3 actually, never mind, lap 3 actually. So he should be coming in lap, what is that? 3 plus 15 is 18, so end of, well, he's not across the line yet, so I'm gonna wait. Now I can say it, end of next lap. I had to wait for him to cross the line because it's not gonna be at the end of this lap. He's gonna go around once more, and then...
Ooh. Jack and Splinter going side by side for the first 3 quarters.
Not much Splinter can do there, honestly. Jack just got in there and took that position from Splinter with everything he had. And up he goes into P8. Yuri, meanwhile, has already pulled a big gap there to Jack. He's up to P7, trying to hunt down the top 6 now. But they're all on very similar tires. In fact, MK1 has a slight advantage. For one, because of that early pit stop, but also, and that might be even more important, because of the, when I say early pit stop, it was a rather late pit stop compared to everyone else, but under the safety car. But also because he was so late compared to everyone else. Lap later than Connor, 3 laps later than Okiki and Estimats and Yuri, and 2 laps later than Niels and Vitinho.
Yeah, MK Bourne, I have to say, he's doing a stunning job out front. Keep seeing him every now and again putting the fastest lap. I think we've got someone in the pits, that's Splinter. Not too much of a surprise there to see him in the pits.
Yeah, but a bit early, I have to say. I would have expected him another lap out there, but now he has to go 15 on the mediums when he just did 13. I'd rather have that even at 14-14 personally, but, you know, that's personal preference at the end of the day. And
he did have a front wing change. That might be something to do with it.
That might explain, yeah, that might explain why he went a bit earlier.
So he'll be running those mediums pretty close to the limit there, but he's got some nice... I'll say he's got some nice clear air to join in. I'm absolutely wrong because he's right behind Mr. John.
Yeah, and just about 3.5 seconds ahead of Jacko as well. As we now have AC Mats close to Niels over P4, that is.
And again, look at the ERS advantage he has.
Oh yeah, 30% to 90%.
Should be a done deal if he's anywhere near Cumber Straight. Although this fiddly little chicane does not make things easy.
He pits.
Oh.
So second pit stop for Estimatia, that will be his last. And Vitinho with the fastest lap now. He really enjoys those medium tires, even that far into the stint. That was his 12th lap on that tire. And it went quite well, I have to say, it went quite well. But I think the one person that we're going to have to look at for the win here is MK Bourne. I think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to take that away from him. I mean, you see the gap, 4.4 seconds to Connor, 8.8 seconds, almost 9 seconds actually. It is 9 seconds, hold on. There we go, 9.2 seconds to Okiki, 12 to Niels, 15 to Vitinho, 20 to Yuri. If MK Born decided to pit now, he'd be right around where Yuri is. In fact, slightly ahead of him, probably.
The only thing for MK Born to be slightly wary of is I believe he was the first person to get a penalty, so I don't know how far away he is from getting any more. So, and of course, Connor at the moment doesn't have any, and Dan's car has spun, I believe. That's quite an odd place at the exit of a chicane just before turn 10. That's maybe lost a bit of traction on exit, but that's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah, we can see the penalties on the screen right now. MK Born 3 seconds, Niels Vitinho 3 seconds, Yuri 6. As Okiki and Niels are in the pit lane? Yes, they are.
I wonder if that's an attempt from Niels to try and fend off Easty Matsu. Tried the undercut.
Possibly, yeah. Would be surprised.
Goes down the straight. I think he's got him. It's going to be super close, actually, but I think Easty Mats has just got in front thanks to that light undercut. So, nicely done. And as we know, he's got a lot of ERS to attack and defend with, so he's definitely one to keep an eye on. And he's only a second or so behind Okeke.
Yeah, and Easty Mats, I mean, we saw his pace in race 1 and round 1, obviously, last week in Italy. But this time, it's not going that well, but it's still going quite well. And looking at the gap there, I think Okiki, despite being a Cup Series driver, he's struggling a little bit here today, which I find surprising. But MK Born doing a great job there at the front. Connor now pitting. He will drop down behind Jack. But I think, yeah, Jack definitely is going to have to pit again. And for softs. So Connor will drop behind Jack, but just about by like 3 or 4 seconds. And he's not the only one in. Yuri is going to come in as well. And Yuri is going to drop a lot further than that. Yuri will find himself probably behind Dan's car. In fact, there we see Connor is behind Jack by about 2 seconds. And Yuri is... there's Dan's car. You can see on the minimap. Oh, actually, Yuri might stay in front of Dan's car. Oh, it's getting really close, but I think Dan's car has him. Indeed, Dan's car has him. So my prediction very, very accurate once again. This is what happens when you know the pit stop loss. You can immediately calculate when you see it. Oh, he was 20 seconds behind the leader. After the pit stop, well, he's going to be 40 seconds behind the leader. Where is that? Well, in this case, 43 seconds right behind Dan's car. But Yuri is going to try here. He's looking for it to get that position back straight away from Dan's car, who, let's quickly look at the stops, has to still make a pit stop. So there's 5 cars in front of Yuri right now who still have to pit. I think 2 of them at least are out of reach. Jack might be. Here goes Yuri on Dan's car, and that is a done deal. Dan's car not really fighting it. As MK Born's now pitting. The leader is in, and he's already back out, and he stays in P2. I mean, that is just... He lost 1 position from a pit stop.
He's utterly dominating, it has to be said. He's got it so nicely under control, and he's only lost, I'd say, about a second to Connor, who pitted a lap earlier, so he's not really under much threat from Connor either, who's provisionally second, so I think only MK Born can stop himself from winning this race.
Yeah, with 12 laps left to go, I think he's the only one who can be in his own way. No one else can really stop him. Mackie and Jacko in the pit lane. Meanwhile, in the backfield, P13, P15. Jacko's going to fall behind Jess. I think that much is clear. Or is he? Oh, no, actually, he's not. Oh, no, he is. There we go. Jess passed, and there we go. Was a bit surprised there, but because the pit stall for Jacko was very far down the pit lane, so that caught me a bit by surprise. I thought he was already on his way out when he wasn't. Vitinho stays out, Jack stays out. Let's quickly see here. Again, we mentioned earlier, Jack, his strategy is going to be... He went really long on the softs. I think he might try and take the softs again now because of the safety car. So he pitted right after the safety car. He pitted lap 10 when the safety car came in. From lap 10, I think you can go to lap 25 and then plus 8. And that's 33. So I think he will pit lap 25 to then go on to softs for 8 laps and take those to the end. Maybe lap 24 if he wants to risk it. But it is very risky. Vitinho, meanwhile, should be pitting anytime soon, to be quite honest. He does have a couple of extra laps from the safety car. So even though he is on his 17th lap on these tires, 3 of these laps were not under full speed. So he has a bit of an advantage there. So it's technically only his 14th real flying lap on these tires. And so he does come in now. They are done. And he will rejoin behind Niels. Unless he serves a penalty. He doesn't have a 5-second, does he? No, he doesn't have... He only has a 3-second. He's not going to serve that. 3 seconds already applied at the end of the race. It's only 5 and 10 seconds that are served here. No front wing change either. So he will be behind Niels in P7. There goes Niels, and Baza is too far away. We're going to see on the right side, there is the car already in the distance, and continue up to P7 and on the softs now. So he might try to make a run for it and try and get a couple more places in these last 10 laps, which is quite a long distance for these soft tires, but he's going to try.
Not going Cup Series driver Keke's way at all. He around a lap ago lost a place to Easty Mats down the pit straight, so now slips down to 5th, which should be 4th once Jack makes his second stop.
Yeah, speaking of Jack, Connor right behind him right now. We're quickly looking at Jack and looking towards the rear there. Connor trying to get that position. Question is though, is he gonna get aggressive here? Is he just gonna hope that Jack is going into the pit lane? Because he probably knows that Jack has to pit again. Jack does stay out though, so is Connor gonna try it here? Oh my goodness, the connection's not really helping. A player started a party with you. Let's ignore that. As here comes Connor and gets the position quite easily actually with the help of DRS. Into P2, he goes on track as well. But of course, Jack, once he pits, will drop down to P9. At the very least, as Danskar is now pitting. Why is Danskar pitting? I thought he already had... Oh, hold on, we can see it there.
Front wing.
Whoops. Yeah, front wing, there it is, yeah. I was gonna say, he already had 2 stops. Oh, he didn't. He had 1 stop, so... it was actually for strategy, and he went at the earliest possible moment where he thinks he can make these tires last to the end. That is now. So he's out of the pits now and down to P11 after his second stop. Let's see, who else still has to pit? It's really just Jack and Baza and Jess. Jess is not going to play a role here today at all. Quite unfortunately, I think... everyone watching, everyone who is a member of the F1 community, Jess is one of the loveliest people you'll ever find. But on track, not gonna be involved with the outcome really, unfortunately. Baza, Jack is now in the pit lane. There we go. Jack is now in the pit lane. Baza should follow, I think. No, Baza stays out. Oh, was Baza... Hold on, was Baza the one on this weird strategy where he wants to take the mediums as long as possible? Yeah, he was. Lap 15, yeah. So he's going to go lap 30, just doesn't like the softs. Jack coming out, there he is, P9. Will get P8 off of Baza when he makes his second stop. Oh, that's a great camera angle right there. Have to say, this is fantastic to see. The helicopter from far away. That's not that great anymore here. But... it's still fine, you know, it's the normal TV camera, but oh, the helicopter looked a lot better there. But Eastimats, after all of this, somehow is back up on the podium spot in P3. And that in front of a Cup Series driver. I gotta give it to him. Great comeback here after a not so great qualifying that saw him in P5. And a couple of issues on the first laps as well. Really, really good comeback there from AC Mats up to P3. And I think, yeah, Buzzer's probably going to stay out. You can see the yellow dot now nearing to the chicane. If he somehow goes to the inside, which he does, a bit earlier than expected, but Baza is in the pit lane. Bit surprised by that. But that is his second pit stop, and he will be in front of Dan's car and behind Splint, obviously. So we will not lose any more positions from now on, at least not in the pit lane.
From a personal standpoint, I love any excuse to watch Baz's car on track because that is undoubtedly my favourite livery.
It is a very good one. It's very reminiscent of the Renault 2005-2006 World Championship car, and
I missed that livery.
Yeah, it was. It brought color to the grid, didn't it? It really brought some color to the grid. Like, we look at the cars now, we see obviously the Ferrari red, but then we see a lot of white. Like the AlphaTauri has white and black, the Haas is white, black, and red. The Williams is white and blue. What else
Alfa Romeo.
is there? Alfa Romeo is white and red. There's so much white going on. I don't really like that. We need a bit more colors. Connor has left the session. That's the connection issues we were talking about this whole race, really. All of a sudden, they come back to bite Connor here. As he's losing more and more time, this might be a second place on the cards for Istimats here.
That could really play into his hands. Hopefully Connor can rejoin as quickly as possible. Vitinho has made the most of those soft tyres and has gone past Niels up into 5th, and maybe could set after Istimats and Okeke in front, but those soft tyres will go off very quickly.
Yeah, he needs to make the most of them now, because with every waning lap of this race, the tyre's advantage is going to be less and less and less, until I think he's gone in so early that these soft tires might be a disadvantage in the last lap.
Yeah, Niels might be thinking, fair enough, I'll let the position go now, but I could potentially come back at you later on.
And I think Connor has not taken control of his car yet. And Istimats is getting closer and closer. Yeah, Connor's still not in his car again. He has rejoined the lobby. Now he's back in. Oh my goodness. As he rejoins, all of a sudden the car starts sliding and almost spinning, and Istimats has to take avoiding action and is in front. So Istimats up to P2. Connor P3. If you're wondering how we could tell that Connor is back in his car, well, all the gaps have disappeared. Now some of them are coming back. But that's how you can generally tell. It's another one of these great features of this game, as Connor's off!
Or is he? I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, he is. He is. Up, down to P6 now. It's all come undone. No, never mind. He's left the session again. Oh my goodness.
I've got him in 3rd on my screen, just in front of Okeke.
Yeah, he did go off, and then he came back from the dead, basically, and now his AI is defending against Okeke. I hope Okeke knows. I mean, there is a big red X behind Connor's name, so he should know that Connor is disconnected, but you don't always realize that during the race. And now Vitinho is trying to get Okeke, taps him in the rear, and Okeke gets a slight slide on, but keeps the car facing the right way. And now Okeke is going to go past Connor here. Connor rejoins. No, Okeke's not going to go past Connor yet. Now around the outside, maybe. He's still in there. He's still in there. Now the long way around. Vitinho getting a front row seat here on this action. Tries to cut back to the inside. Gets to the inside of Connor. And takes the position off of Connor. My goodness, what is going on here? Now Niels trying to have a look. Oh, Niels late on the brakes. And Connor is taking control of his car again. I hope he can stay in it for the rest of the race now. But from P2 down to P6, once again, the times have gone and disappeared again. So we're hoping they come back rather shortly. They will definitely come back once these drivers do get to a sector point. They should, but generally, once they do come to the line, it will definitely come back, which MK Born just did. And AC Mats should be the next one to follow there. So we can see the gap between MK Born and AC Mats in just a second. And there it is, 10.8 seconds. So MK Born well clear of the Estonian in P2. And on his way, MK Born, to be the second driver to qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not sure he needed a bigger lead, but Connor's connections helped him get one. I've got to say, to Eastymat's fair play, because he didn't look... he looked like he was going to end up around the top 5 for most of his race, and qualifying as well, but... I don't know, he's taken advantage of a few things. Saved his ERS exceptionally well, and finds himself up in P2, and a first and a second from the first 2 races is pretty good going.
Yeah, it really is. Certainly puts him atop the standings here after 2 races, especially considering that MK Born, well, he's going to be second if he wins this second in the standings. He will also have a win, but in the first race he only got a 3rd place. So for him, he's a little bit away in that regard. As we have the final 2 laps of the race. And there's a close battle going on. Okiki will actually lose quite a few positions from his penalties. Connor, if he stays with this group here, can still get P3. Is he out of the car again? No, he's not. He's still in it. Okay. Because he's dropping off.
Does he know maybe he's got connection issues and doesn't want to get too close? But
yeah, but he has to get close. Vitinho just went past Okiki. And now Connor has to stay within 3 seconds of Vitinho. The gap right now is 2.2, so he can't afford to leave much more space. There's a lapped car of Mackie in between all of this as well. Is that Mackie or is that Jess? I think no, that is Mackie. Yeah, let's everyone by. Connor, oh boy. That was close. But yeah, the gap now is still 2 seconds. Connor has left again. I think that's gonna be it for Connor. I think he's gonna probably try to rejoin, but yeah, don't think it's gonna work too well. Jacko meanwhile gets another 3-second time penalty. 3 drivers on 9 seconds each. That is Okiki, Yuri, and Jacko. I mean, we know Jacko has sort of a reputation for racking up lots of corner cutting penalties. I think, you know, maybe it might be good for next year or next season, or even for this season maybe, as here goes Yuri on Connor, on AI Connor, I think we should say at this point. Maybe it would be good to buy Jacko, maybe for his next birthday, you know, a car with, like, you know, that keeps you driving in the right lane, that doesn't, like, once you're on the white line, it pulls you back. Maybe that's something that would really help Jacko here.
He might also need a blue flag detector, because he's just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring them, because he's just MK Born still stuck behind both him and Mr. John. Ay.
Come on, guys. What are they doing?
I don't know if you saw what I just saw at the bottom of the screen about 20 seconds ago as well, but it came up, Connor, fastest lap, 46.3.
I did not see that, but MK Born is coming through the final corner, and in fact, yeah, 46.1 it shows for me. But either way, MK Born comes across the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Estimats now has a 3-second time penalty as well. Not that that's going to matter. He comes home in P2. Vitinho in P3. Will he keep that? I think he will. Okiki, however, will not keep P4. Niels will get P4. Okiki 5. No, actually, Jack P4. Niels 5. Okiki 6. Yuri 7. Connor 56 seconds.
What?
Okay, the game is screwing him over significantly. Splinter P8, I think that should come back and see Connor in P8 at the very least, and then Splinter 9, and Baza in 10th. Yeah, that's not right in P9. Baza should be 10th. Danskar should be 11th. And then Jacko missed it. I don't know why Jacko is fighting this. He's 5 seconds down on penalties, and he knows it. Because now you can see it as a driver, how much penalties the cars around you have. So, yeah, Jacko is in front now, but he will lose that position. It will be Mr. John in P12, Jacko 13, Jess 14, and May. Yeah, I'm not looking at that. MK Born wins. Jacko and Mr. John just taking the piss. I hope I am allowed to say that. If not, Jacko, please let me know in DMs that was too far. But either way, MK Born wins is now the second driver to qualify for the playoffs alongside AC Mats. And we will have the standings for you next week because obviously stewarding goes into it. We don't have any provisional results yet, but stewarding goes into it and things can change quite significantly. But yeah, I think great race from MK Born, start to finish really. And,
yeah, he's probably going to wonder what the fuss was about until he watches this back.
yeah. But yeah, drivers, I'm looking at the DM group between all the drivers right now. Bunch of drivers frustrated. Connor probably being one of them. I mean, it now says P11, which is not where he should be. I hope he gets P8 back because that's where he finished on track. I don't know how many... It doesn't show any penalties for him. So he should get at least P8. Considering where he came across the line. Maybe the stewards can adjust that a little bit. But either way, top 3 all on penalties, by the way. Only 3 seconds, but still 3 seconds. But yeah, that is the result of the Spanish Grand Prix. And we have 6 more. Sorry, these are the standings from the first race. We have 6 more races coming in the next 6 weeks. And then, of course, we have the playoffs as well. So we are going to kick it off again next Tuesday. It will be... Let me actually get the calendar. Oh, it's a WebP file. Are you kidding me? I'm going to try and make it work. Hold on. I'm going to try and make it work. If it doesn't work, don't blame me. Don't blame me. If it doesn't work, don't blame me. Oh, it might be working. It might be working. Hold on. Do we have it? Ah, it is working fantastically. It is working. So OBS can actually read WebP files as well. So you see here the calendar. Next week it's going to be Monaco. Same time, same weekday, Tuesday. And of course, we also on this channel have the JACKOCAR Cup Series, where you should be able to see Okiki again. And they are going to race. They're going to have a very fantastic race this time around. Britain Short. That will be on Thursday right here on this channel. Make sure to subscribe to JACKOCAR. Make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed this stream. And yeah, Britain Short on Thursday for the JACKOCAR Cup Series. That's going to be an interesting one. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And as mentioned, we will be back with Monaco on next Tuesday. Once again, 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central European. With that, from Jake and myself, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.